I'm gonna make my pumpkin carrot muffins. And I start with half a cup of unsalted butter. Soften up the butter. And then I add half a cup each of white sugar and light brown sugar. And I'll just stir these together. I have 2 eggs here, and I'll add those one at a time. And in goes the second. And to add moisture and flavor and tons of vitamins and minerals, this is pure pumpkin puree, 1 cup. Splash of vanilla, about a teaspoon, and half a cup of sour cream. And I'll stir that. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And a teaspoon each of baking powder and baking soda. A teaspoon of fine sea salt. And then half a teaspoon each of ground cinnamon and ginger. That ground ginger adds a nice little kick. And then I add this all at once and stir gently just until it's blended. And the last ingredient to add, a cup of finely grated carrots. And I'm ready to fill my muffin tins. An ice cream scoop makes easy work of filling muffin cups, cupcakes, portioning cookies. These are ready for the oven. I've preheated the oven to 350, and in 20 to 25 minutes, they'll be done. And those are the muffins. And you know how I turn those muffins into pumpkin carrot cupcakes? Simply add a layer of vanilla frosting on top. This is a real old-fashioned buttercream icing, and it is the perfect topping for cupcakes. I start with half a cup of unsalted butter, and I have to sift in the icing sugar a little at a time. So I'll start with 2 cups. Takes a lot of icing sugar to make a batch of frosting, ultimately 4 cups. I started off on low speed before I increase the speed. I want to keep the icing sugar in the bowl as much as possible. Okay. Now I add milk, about 5 tablespoons, so that's a 1/4 cup plus 1 extra tablespoon. And about a teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. And at this point, I start adding icing sugar until I get that consistency I want. If I were making a bundt cake and I wanted to drizzle a little icing over, I'd stop right now. But since I want to actually pipe these onto my cupcakes, I'll sift in more sugar. So, I've got a piping bag with a star tip. Of course, you can just simply spread the icing on the top of the cupcakes, but the star tip gives it a festive, decorative look. And away we go. Now those are fit for a party. Ready to take to the table, and one to take myself. The ultimate cupcake